Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for SpiegelMom Scraps, and I'm here to share with you another shaker layout. This one's a little bit different. This is the completed layout, and if you shop over at the store and you use the code Suzanna with a Z, SUZANNA 15, you can get 15% off your purchase. So I have a Paige Evans digital cut file, that's the balloon there, and what inspired that was one of the cut-aparts, the 4x3 cards from this collection by Echo Park that's called Happy Birthday. And the balloons had shakers in them, or it was confetti really, and so I thought, oh, that would be fun to make confetti balloons. And instead of using confetti, I'm going to use sequins. So I am using my Scraproom kit, and this is Echo Park, and it was in this month, sorry, September. No, actually, that's not true. It was actually a while ago. I haven't used it, and I thought this would be perfect for my son's birthday. So I originally had, I can't remember, I think it was wild puppies or something as the sequence that I was going to mix, but the colors that I decided to go with from this collection worked much better with Hannah's Pasture, and so that is the sequence that I am going to use in 3 of those balloons. The rest of the balloons I am going to back with pattern paper. So to start off the sequin shaker, I'm going to use acetate, and I am going to, what I'm doing here is I'm literally just marking the 3 balloons that I want to back with acetate, and I'm going to do those first so that I can then do the pattern paper. And I'm going to skip through the pattern paper part, but just show you how I do the acetate. So I am going to literally just use my fine line tip applicator to put some Scotch tacky glue on the outside, plop down the acetate, and then I'm literally going to just cut that so that I can move on and do the other 3 balloons. And then with some finer scissors, I will trim all the way around so that you don't have the acetate overhanging the edges of that digital cut file there. So again, I'm just going to put the glue, put the acetate, and then trim. There's my finer scissors around that outer border there. And what I tried to do was put the glue on the inside of the cut file, or closer to the inner border of the cut file, so that it lifted out just a little bit when I wanted to trim, and I didn't have to worry about trimming the cardstock as well. So I am now going to just skip over me backing all of the balloons because it's literally the same process. Put the glue, trim it out, and then you can see that one balloon I knew I wasn't going to put all the way down, or it was going to get covered by the photo, and so I didn't put all of the paper on that. So in order to make the acetate shaker, it's similar to the process that I did on Tuesday with I used tulle to make a shaker. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check the video from Tuesday, and I made a shaker as well, but I used tulle instead of acetate. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just laying down double-sided adhesive, and I'm putting that on the outline shape of the balloon. And it is a curved edge, and I'm literally just kind of crimping up the double-sided adhesive, and I'm not worried about it because the shaker needs a little bit of space in order to let the sequin shake, so that bunching up of the double-sided adhesive is just fine. So I'm going to put the adhesive down on the paper, the pattern paper, the background, and then I'm just going to smush down that balloon and that double-sided adhesive into the paper, and there's one of the shaker balloons. And then I'm going to work my way down. Fortunately, this cut file if I crease it, it's not a permanent crease, and you can't tell that I had folded it over in any of the places when you look at the finished layout. So I'm going to do the same 3 thing for each of these other 2 balloons. You can see I'm just working my way around the cut file. I'm going to pull up that extra adhesive. I'm going to sprinkle down the sequins. And again, that's Hannah's Pasture if you're looking to coordinate and use the same sequin mix that I used. It's a lovely mix of yellows, blues, and whites. And I do have the red in the layout, and there's no red in the sequence, but I'm not, I really just like the few pops of red, and I don't need everything to coordinate. Peel off double-sided adhesive and pop that down. Same thing here. So a repetitive sequence, but I like things in trios, and because there are lots of balloons, by having those 3 that move from the top to the middle to the bottom of the layout, it kind of moves your eye and creates some movement in that layout, both metaphorically and in real life too, because you do have the shaker. If you go back to that video that I did on Tuesday that I referenced earlier about the tool shaker, what I really like about the tool shaker is it's got a much softer look. You can see the glare on the acetate. See, they're shaking it in three times the speed. Sorry, I interrupted myself. So if you go back, I like the softer look, but I also like that the sequence actually moves better underneath the tool. The tool has a little bit of give to it, and it just gives it a very different look. But this is a very bright layout, and so the shine off of that acetate really, it adds to the layout really more than it detracts from it. So that is going to be the background of the layout. Now it's just time to embellish it. I knew I wanted to use that big birthday, and I was going to have to get happy from somewhere. And I like the red of the birthday because it really works with those red balloons, and it adds it really pops against that navy background there. So I have these letters that I'm putting on wax paper, and I just want to figure out the alignment of things. You can see that I have birthday sort of down lower, closer to the picture, but I realize that I'm going to actually have to move that down even further because of what I choose to use for happy. And while I'm kind of mulling over how I'm going to make that work, I'm going to continue building this layout, and I just wanted a little pop of color on the right hand side of that photo. So that's why I just trimmed the very edge of that journal card, because I could still use that journal card popping out of a picture and use that for journal space there. I love this little bear from this Echo Park collection. He's just a perfect birthday celebratory bear. I kind of struggled for a little bit with these presents and where they were going to go relative to the bear. I end up putting the presents on the right hand side. And then I'm going to put one of the presents and I'm going to pop it up a little bit. And I actually end up popping just the head of the bear. So his feet are quote unquote on the ground or on the layout, and then his head is popped up off of it a little bit. And again, just to give a little bit of dimension to the layout there. And there's that present that's going to be popped up as well. One of the things that I forgot to do when I popped the bear was the little pom-pom on the top of his hat didn't get popped up, so I have to go back in and stick, there we go, a little foam dot there. So I've kind of figured out that happy is going to need to move down a little bit, and that allows me the space to be able to use the banners that are in these stickers in this Echo Park collection for birthday as well. I had thought about cutting that happy, that you see that red happy in the stickers next to the balloons there. I thought about cutting that and using that, but it wasn't going to be enough contrast, and really all you were going to see was birthday. And so that's why I went with the banners. So I gave the little bear one of those little, what are those things that you use at a birthday party where you blow out and it straightens out and then you let go and it comes back in? They're not noisemakers because they don't make noise, but one of those celebratory things from a birthday. So the little bear got those. And then I just put sprinklings of confetti around the layout. There's party hats and sayings and all of that fun jazz. And they're along the outer edges of the layout because I really wanted you to be able to focus on the balloons and the celebration in the layout there. I toyed with the idea of putting a little hat on the picture, but I think it was the white border that bothered me, so that's why the hat ends up going on the outside there. That yellow was very, very bright in that single yellow balloon, not the striped one, and that's why I fussy cut one of the stars from one of the pattern papers and put that on the yellow. That is actually not from the birthday collection, the yellow. I originally had underneath the bear, that balloon has the yellow stripe on it as well, and so I didn't want 3 of the same balloons, which is why I pulled a pattern paper from one of the 6x6 paper pads that I got from Tuesday morning. It ends up being that I covered the other yellow stripe, but I actually like that yellow balloon there. So what I just did was I tied 2 bows from some twinery twine, and I just used those to sort of make the banner look more like a banner and not just be floating there with no purpose. By putting the bows, I feel like I have attached the banner, and it feels like it's grounded. And that's I think I've already said twine or retwine, and so I just used some liquid adhesive underneath to hold those down. So a few more embellishments that I'm just going to kind of lay down for some added pizzazz to the page, some added celebration to the page. And that, my friends, is my balloon shaker sequence pocket. Those words trip me up. So if you have any questions as to how I did that, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. I hope you enjoyed this process video. I've enjoyed sharing all these shakers with you. So be sure to shake up your layouts and stop in at the store. Thanks for stopping in today. Have a great day. Hope you're doing well. Take care.